Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Black Eel podcast episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about some trailers, some new information about some shows, and then move on to talking about Daredevil Season 2, our thoughts on it, and what we were hoping, what Mike's hoping to see for the rest of the Defender saga. We're then going to be moving on to talking about Harley Quinn's Season 5 premiere, then moving on to talk about the season/series finale, because we're unsure quite yet.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
been no confirmation.
correct. Of the Skeleton Crew. And then we're going to be ending with a character spotlight from Mike. So let's get right into this and talk about Captain America 4 really quick. Because Mike informed me that there was apparently some extended trailer information. So, realistically, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait, you didn't watch it?
No, I did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Honestly, the only thing that was new to me was the last part with Falcon, with the new Falcon.
I mean, when
I
I rewatched it, I felt like most of it was like most of it. It wasn't new, but it was extended on.
maybe I'll say it this way. I couldn't clearly tell what was extended and what was not, but I also didn't watch the old trailers before watching this one.
I mean, okay, I guess that's fair.
So like I don't want to say that I'm not saying that there wasn't. I'm stating like I couldn't obviously tell from just watching it.
I felt like most of it was kind of new.
Okay.
Like it was with a lot of old stuff that we already knew, but then it added more to it in terms of like giving us a little bit of a painting a better picture.
Well, all
Like
right,
we
I'll say
got
it this way. So like for the Serpent Society or I forgot what their title is,
yeah.
but he goes, "Oh, I'll give you a confirmation on the kill later."
Yeah,
And so
and
like
then we
that was
saw
that
the White House getting like destroyed by something attacking it.
yeah, but we knew that happens, but we got to see more context of it. I guess the
Yeah.
best way to say it. Um,
The other thing too is we saw. I know one thing that weren't sure about in the original trailer was whether Ezekiel, that the super soldier, was actually Ezekiel. Now we in this trailer we got a couple more clips of getting a full face view of Ezekiel.
yeah. Which we
Um,
kind of got more confirmation on in a couple of trailers back that it was him, but not necessarily what he did. Like we knew that it was him and he did something
yeah.
bad, but we didn't know like all the details. Um, and the Serpent Society is being paid. Well, the Serpent Group, whatever they call themselves, is being hired by somebody. We're assuming, obviously, leader.
Hmm.
Um, and then the Falcon scene I thought was really cool because one thing I didn't realize, and not that it really matters, but the new Falcon suit is just the old Falcon suit with a new paint job, which is hilarious because it doesn't ruin anything whatsoever. It's just funny to me.
I mean, I have no opinion on that. I just
Well, no,
it
no, no.
was
I'm meaning like it
it's a new
makes
Falcon. They take a new.
no. What I'm saying is it works for the movie, and it works for the
Oh
comics
yeah,
too because like you get the hand-me-downs until you make it your own.
yeah. No, that's kind of how I took it. You're
No,
not fully him until you prove yourself. So
no,
I
absolutely.
just
But you get what I'm saying. Like I'm just more of the fact of like, oh, I'm kind of surprised that they went with just that. But I guess it's because it's his first introduction as Falcon.
mhm.
Because he's obviously been in the
I'm interested to see how like they introduce him into the movie, because I don't think we've actually we this is the first time we're seeing the new Falcon, right?
like ever.
Yeah,
Like
or
no,
was
no, he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
he was? Oh, okay, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he was the Hispanic guy, the army guy that was helping out the two of them.
Oh, okay. Well, there was no like hint that he was going to take the mantle.
Yes, there was.
There what? Okay.
So
Oh.
at the end of at the end, I don't remember if it was right very end or whatever, but he had it was when Falcon's suit was destroyed,
Mhm.
and I believe it was right before he got his new suit. Um, the guy takes the old suit and was like, the
Okay.
thought is he's gonna fix it up because we know he's the new Falcon because of
Okay.
granted I understand you didn't, but I mean like in general like his name matches the new
Oh,
Falcon,
okay.
so
All right.
it wasn't a surprise. It was just more of when or if type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, are they gonna actually make him Falcon, or are they just alluding to it and keeping it in their pocket? Obviously, they're making him Falcon.
Yep. Okay.
Um, But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Does the CGI for the Red Hulk look better?
I thought I liked how it looked a little bit more in this one.
Okay, all right. So I'm not crazy because it's like I wondered if it was different because it looked. I know this is going to sound really stupid to say because of what it is, but it looked more realistic. And I know that's stupid to say, but you
I
get what I
know.
mean.
Yeah. I mean, we say this all the time. When they first release a trailer, things aren't don't look that great, and but they kind of like clean it up by the time the movie comes out. So it makes sense that it looks a little bit cleaner in the final trailer before, or I don't know if it's the final trailer,
We're
but the
assuming it's the
newest
final
trailer.
trailer. We're assuming because it's a month away. But that being said, no, he looked better. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
tough to say.
I also have to say I liked in general, like you said, he just looked better. Like when in the original thing when I complained, I said like, oh, the Hulk kind of just looks like Harrison Ford as a Hulk, which understandable because of the type of Hulk he is. But I think in this one, it just I didn't mind it as much as the last one. It looked better to me, so I wasn't as
It,
upset about it looking like Harrison Ford.
I think for this one, and again, correct me if you disagree, or like let me know if you disagree. I should say he looked like Harrison Ford and the Hulk fused, but like didn't look only like one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it looked like a good combination of the two, which I think is what, in my opinion, made it look better. But, and again, I think the color also looked better, and I'll say that the color before didn't look bad either. Like I didn't,
no,
there was nothing I hated when I first saw it. It's just it looks better, and I was kind of surprised because I never had the thought of it looking bad,
yeah.
and so like the fact that they still upgraded it, I was like, ooh, I'm kind of okay. I'm
No,
okay
yeah,
with it.
it was a nice little move forward. I the only thing I want to say before we move on is, as we talked about a little bit yesterday, is that the fear that
Oh
they're
yes.
doing a lot of commercials now, and I understand that they're trying to get people hyped up to go see the movie, but when you oversaturate with a bunch of TV spots and a bunch of trailers, it's telling me that the movie's not great and they're desperate to get you to go to the theater, so it's not a flop.
Can we? All right. Well, guess what? Okay, so I saw more Marvel trailers that had nothing to do with Captain America 4, but they were TV spotlights.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw them, like the one for the Avengers, the first one. I mean,
Uh
recent. Like they made recent commercials
oh,
for.
oh,
Oh, like
I haven't seen them.
so you saw the one where like something gets thrown or whatever, and it's like at the White House, and then the woman goes home to get the tide clean, like her
uh
suit.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
for
yeah.
Captain America 4, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was another one where it was when the oh my gosh, I can't even pronounce their names. But when the aliens come from Avengers 1,
Oh, okay, yeah, I have seen that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they just had the thing and they're realizing maybe we shouldn't focus so much on Captain America 4 to scare people. Let's add some
Yeah.
other stuff because we want to make sure that this goes well. Um,
I mean, if that's actually the logic, then hey, good on them.
well,
But I
no, but
mean,
you get what I'm saying. Excuse me. You get what I'm saying? Because I was like,
yeah,
I was so surprised to see an Avengers 1. Like, it obviously wasn't a trailer, but, like, it was like, catch up on the Avengers. And I'm
yep.
like, wow. Like, that blows my mind. But anyway, um,
It's just
that
a
is a
fear,
concern.
especially with the
Yeah.
runtime being under 2 hours.
Well,
Um,
it shrunk.
yeah, originally it was
It was
supposed to be
two and a
like two
half,
hours
right?
and ten. No, it was 2 hour 10 minutes. It was never
That's
two
right.
and a half, but
That's
it
right.
was over 2 hours before, which now it cut down to under 2 hours, which isn't that big of a deal because it's just like I mean
No,
it's
it's
10 minutes.
stereotypical. It's stereotypical for this type of movie in the Marvel universe, being like an hour and a half, slightly more.
Yeah. Uh, well, usually these movies are around 2 hours.
I thought Captain America was shorter.
No, the shortest Marvel movie was, I believe, this second Captain Marvel movie, and that was at an hour and a half. I
Oh,
think
you're right.
everything else is over 2 hours.
Or like right near there.
Yeah.
All right, no big deal. No, like I said, it threw me off too because it was like because I remember it being like 2 hours and whatever minutes, and then all of a sudden I'm like runtime is 139, and I'm like what?
I mean, I don't think it was that low.
I thought well again it
I
actually
think it was like an hour 50 minutes, but like it wasn't like a big cut down.
either
It's
way,
just my concern is like you're introducing a decent amount of new characters and having such and shrinking the runtime. It's like, okay, now hopefully we have time to get to learn these characters.
well, the good thing is there's only one right now. There's only one person that needs like there's only one group that needs a spotlight. Everyone else is known.
Yes,
Because because Thaddeus Ross has already been introduced.
he's been
We,
introduced.
we have
Yes,
the Falcon and Captain America both introduced. Ezekiel's been introduced. We have the leader that has already been introduced as well.
my thing with that to counter that is that yes, Thaddeus Ross is already a well known character. You have to, which they're going to, obviously they have to touch on the fact that it's a different actor, um, and they have to find a way to cleanly introduce him changing over to the Hulk. So technically, Red Hulk is a new character. Then,
No, that's fair. I will.
then,
I will give you that one.
then yes, the leader is an already established character, but it's been 20 years. So a lot of people either don't remember or don't know that that happened in the Incredible Hulk. So they have to reintroduce him.
Well,
Then
I'm thinking they're not going to have to do that much, and I know what I'm comparing apples and oranges, but we didn't need that big of a thing when Abomination came back in.
Abomination was in a TV show, not in a movie.
Okay.
Uh you have to realize the difference because like yes, we are Marvel fans, but
In a movie, you want to make sure that the average person knows what's going on and
yes,
who's in it.
you have to target the average audience who is like yes, people are fans of these, but I mean most people going to see a movie aren't as in depth as to what you and I are going into.
No, that's fair. No, that is fair.
Um
Especially like you said, it's been over. It hasn't been 20 years yet. It's close though.
it's very close. It's like 20 no, yeah, no, because it came out in what, 2007?
No, no. Iron Man came out in 2008. So I'm going to stop you right there, sir. This
Oh,
came out in
okay.
2009 or 2000.
I always forget.
Don't get me wrong. Do
I
not get
always
me
think
wrong.
Iron Man comes out in 2006.
Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's super later than that or earlier than that, but it's like
No,
Iron Man was the first, and it is
no,
the
no,
first.
no, 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 no. I know it was the first, but again, I always get it mixed up that Iron Man came out in 2006.
No, I mean like we're what we're 16 years after that
It's
in the
close.
mistake.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, it's very close. 16, almost 17.
It's been a long time. So
No, I
like
agree.
and don't forget too, uh, because it's been so long, it's a lot of new people watching these movies. It's not like it's
Also
been
true.
3 years where someone has been like, oh, this is the first movie. Now we're coming into the second movie because it's been so long. We have a lot of new eyes coming to see Captain America for the first time. So for some kind of this something like this, it's just like a something that they have to keep in mind for an average viewer, not just a
That's fair.
dedicated
But
viewer.
I guess my point I'm making is the fact of like they're going to be obviously giving heavy influence to the leader. Obviously, there's no way
Yeah,
they're not. That regardless of whether he was brought in last movie or not. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he's gonna have a huge because it's like where has he been? Like
yep,
because like if he's this powerful all of a sudden, like
yeah.
it couldn't have been all of a sudden. It had to have
They
been
have to build up to like what he's been
right.
doing. Yeah,
And
and then
I
also going on, they will have to introduce Falcon. I know you just said that they introduced him in the show, but they have to give a little touch on how he got to where he is from there. So
yeah, I think I all joking aside, I think that one's gonna be the least information because he
I
doesn't need
kind of
to show.
agree. It's like, but they have to at least let people know
Oh
because
no, they definitely
not everybody watched the show.
no. It's gonna be very similar to. I think it was actually even seen in the trailer. Like, oh, you have my old suit, and he's like, yeah, you like it? It's just a new color. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's gonna be
That's fair.
something like
Yeah,
as simple as that. Because I mean, like, even them addressing like the new War Machine in Iron Man 2 was just like where have you been? Like, or something of that nature with Don Cheadle when he was
yeah, yeah,
released. It's going to be something simple because I guarantee you what they're going to do with Harrison Ford's character is talk about the mustache.
No, they did. Yeah, they did it in the first trailers. Like, oh, you have to. They told me I had to lose the stash or lose the election. So they made
But
a
no, but you get my point I'm making. So it's
yeah,
like they're already proving a point. Like, hey, things are different. Like we know it. We're addressing it.
yeah.
Obviously not to the full degree, but like,
Obviously,
um,
they're not going to say like, oh, the actor passed away. Now I'm a new
well, they
guy.
might do it in the credits, but they're not going to do it in the show. I mean, the movie,
Yeah, they'll say they'll do in the like you said in the credits or
in memoriam
before the
of.
movie. They say in memory of
Yeah,
whoever the actor is.
because I mean, he was supposed to be Red Hulk. Obviously, that wasn't. It just obviously didn't work out. But we've talked
Unfortunately, life happened
enough about Captain America 4. Let's move on to
a lot longer
Daredevil.
than I thought we were going to.
Well, that's why I'm stopping us. Because now we're going to talk about Daredevil Reborn. This one was,
Are we?
yeah.
I thought there was something that you wanted to talk about.
Oh no, it's going to be after this.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Because
said it was going to be for Captain America, so
no, no. It's Marvel related though.
okay.
So anyway, we
Oh, that's because you forgot about the Daredevil trailer. Okay, that makes sense.
no, I did forget about the Daredevil trailer.
Okay, now, yep. Okay,
So
proceed.
anyway, this Daredevil trailer was really good,
They
really good.
did. They did
Now,
so much.
Now I know we're gonna be very tempted to talk about season two, obviously, but the idea is like because you've now seen two out of the three seasons,
Mhm.
are you more excited for Daredevil Reborn?
Oh yeah, of course. I think I'm.
Not that you
I,
weren't before, but I mean like
so for me, I think I'm more excited for Daredevil season 3 than Daredevil Reborn because there are still pieces that are missing from that I don't have for from the third season.
so
So like obviously there's some characters that happen in season 2 that I'm like, okay, clearly this is going to play a factor in season 3 or later seasons because they intended to do more.
yep,
Um, so for all I know, some characters that were written off, I guess, could be coming back
yep,
in this season for
or
season
yeah,
3 or in Born Again.
and also too you got to realize too that they might pop up in other Defender shows as well. That's something you're not registering either because
True.
they were the definition of cameos for the
Yep.
Netflix show, as you noticed. Granted, you've
Yep.
only seen three seasons of shows in general,
And they're
but like
already
you're
doing
already seeing
cameos. Yep.
they're doing cameos like you wouldn't believe, and it continues. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that goes on. So the big thing for me is so we have Daredevil and Kingpin know who each other are, um, fully.
Oh, okay, in the trailer, right?
No, in the trailer.
I
In
was
the
in
trailer.
season 2 mode. Sorry.
No, no, no. I'm talking about the trailer. So they know each other.
Yep.
Which
They
is
established that in the first trailer.
Yeah, but I know, but I mean, like it's very apparent, obviously. So we have Kingpin and Daredevil 100% in. We have the Punisher 100% in. He's got long hair. He's gonna be in
Yep.
Daredevil Born Again for sure.
Yep.
Did you
Yep.
see another character? Oh, this is what sucks because there was another character that was shown in the trailer, and I don't think you would have recognized them, but you wouldn't have even if you saw all three seasons anyway. It's bizarre. Um, Bullseye.
Okay, I think I
You probably
yeah.
had your thought, but you were like, I don't know, could it be right? Because
I think he like threw something in the trailer, and I was like, oh, that's got to be Bullseye.
I believe you are correct. Yes. So it's the illusion that it's going to be Bullseye as we know him, but we'll have to wait and see for sure. And it
We
looks like
got
it looks like
we got a scene of a couple other characters. I know I saw.
I think I
Oh,
saw Paige.
yep, we saw her. I think we
I didn't
saw.
see Foggy.
I thought, yeah, I thought one of the characters looked like Foggy,
I'll
but
say it this way: I know when they were showing like when they were showing like pictures of on set, Foggy was on the set. But all the
yeah,
trailers I've seen, I have not actually seen Foggy in it.
the only reason
Not
I wasn't
obviously.
positive about Foggy is because the hair. Obviously, now in season 2, he kind of trimmed up his hair a little bit towards the end, so I'm like, oh, maybe he got a haircut. So
But
it
also
it
too, like there's been so many years between season 3 and 4 that they could have like I mean look at Punisher. He's got long hair. And you'll notice why that's weird later.
yeah.
Um but
We also saw the person with the I'm gonna say sound. It's gonna sound stupid, but it's like in the trailer they had a red mask and a white mask, and I believe that is White Tiger.
Yes. Yes. So no, it's yes, a White Tiger who is a martial artist. And I believe so I'm interested I'm kind of surprised. It looks like they went with a male character.
Is that normally a male
No, no,
character?
no, no, no. It's not that. That's not the issue. I think he was originally a male, but just in recent comics, I think it was turned into a female. But I think also
Ah.
the reason for that was because at the time, Daredevil was actually Elektra in the comics. She had
Oh,
taken
okay.
on the.
So it was like a chain. It fit for the universe.
Yeah, so it wasn't like like, oh, we're changing it. But I think White Tiger is meant to be very much like Daredevil in the
Yeah.
sense of like it's whoever wears the
Yeah,
mask,
yeah, yeah. It doesn't
not
matter who it
actually.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually the person. But I'm very interested to see his what powers he has, if any, because that'll be interesting.
Because White Tiger isn't supposed to have any powers, right? He's just supposed to be a martial artist specialist.
If I remember correctly, he's got what's called chi, and you don't know that yet. Chi is something that gets introduced into the Defender Saga
Okay.
in Iron Fist.
Well, I mean, chi, it's like something on the inside, like one of those
But
kind of.
like it's one of those things where it's like what the reason why I say it is because it's like it's meant to be
It's
like
not really a power, but it is a power.
yes, it's very stupid in that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I'm looking it up. Keep talking.
Okay. The trailer was pretty brutal. I don't know if it was White Tiger or if it was some other character because, like I said,
It was tough. It
it
was
was
getting
that red mask. So I don't know if it was someone else or White Tiger, but like they came in and just like completely obliterated that person's leg. Oh, this is gonna be interesting for a you know this is like this is clearly going to be the most brutal Disney Plus show that they've come up with so far.
yes.
Um, and I'm all for it. Especially, I'm glad that they're keeping the gritty feel of
Okay.
what the Defender Saga was.
I was slightly wrong.
Okay.
Um, it is a regular human with martial arts skills, but is mystically enhanced by the White Tiger amulet.
Okay.
So, superhuman strength, speed. So, I'm sorry, not superhuman. Sorry, enhanced strength, enhanced speed,
Yep.
enhanced durability, enhanced ability, stamina,
But it's
accelerated.
because of the amulet.
Yeah, no, this is all because of the
Yep.
amulet. Accelerated recuperation. So like is able to like heal broken bones, torn
Yeah.
muscles.
Healing factor. Yep.
Yeah, but it's like it's weird. It's not how it's phrased, which confuses me.
It's not as strong as like other
But I
characters.
think the reason why they change it that way is because for it to heal, you have to place the amulet on the wound.
Oh, that's
So
weird.
it's not like it's just naturally being done. Like you have to be like ah.
Okay.
Heightened animal senses, camouflage. That's it. That's the other one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Apparently, the amulet allows them to blend into their surroundings whenever they are perfectly still.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, they're Drax.
Yeah.
But no, I knew they had something, but it wasn't like your stereotypical power. So it's from the amulet. But very much looking forward to it. Which also proves a point too that whoever holds the amulet is White Tiger. So I wasn't completely wrong, but I just didn't remember exactly what.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's also not a really well-known character either. Um, But anyway, let's move on to the thing that I wanted to talk about because I am excited for Reborn, but I can't talk too much about it because it'll spoil season 3 for you.
That's fair. Yep.
So the big thing here is, you know, your Friendly Neighborhood Spiderman is coming out on January 29th, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know what their release schedule is?
No, I haven't looked
I'm going
into
to
it.
tell you because
Okay.
that's what I'm here for.
All
So
right.
29th, 2-episode premiere.
Okay.
Okay, which is typical, nothing
Yeah. Yeah.
strange. The following week, 3 episodes are airing.
What?
I'm not kidding. The following week after that, another 3 episodes. The following week after that, the final 2 episodes, and then it's done.
That's weird.
It is. I looked it up because I was curious because I was like, oh, how long is it going to be? Like, how many episodes and everything else? So it's going to be 10 episodes, but it's in 4 weeks.
Okay. Well, All right.
I was not prepared for it. That's why I brought it up, because it's not something that changes much of anything, but it was just like,
No, that's interesting.
what's hilarious
That's
is the article I read, because I was reading it, and I was like, because I was like, wait a minute, why is it saying it's only until the end of February? There's supposed to be 10 episodes. Why? And I was reading, and I'm like, this is the weirdest schedule Disney Plus has ever released.
yeah, that's interesting. All right. I mean, sure. Why not?
I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, it's what I would imagine it's got to be like 20-minute episodes, so it's not like it's
Something like that's what I'm assuming. Yeah.
because it's animated. You know what I'm saying? Normally they do it shorter.
Well,
Um,
seeing that you brought up episode release times, they confirmed as usual. They usually do this for Invincible season 3. The first episode is a 3-episode premiere,
Perfect. Which was always the
which is
well, no. So the only time it wasn't was last season, because they did the
because it
four.
was 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
because they split it into two.
yeah.
No, it wasn't even
Um,
two. I thought it was one.
I thought it was a 2-episode premiere.
I thought they only did one because of they're only doing it for 4 weeks and then took a long break, because it wasn't it 8 episodes.
It was 8 episodes, but I thought it was 2 episodes, 1 episode, 1 episode.
You could be right. I didn't think so, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But no,
Either way, part of the reason why I didn't like that season. So
no, but the big thing too for that, because you mentioned that, is like that means it's going to be more of like the regular. So it's going to be 6 weeks,
yeah,
which is great.
yeah.
And it's March or
March 4th. No, that's Daredevil.
no, I don't think Daredevil's then.
March 4th. I'm pretty sure that's Daredevil.
All right, you look up Invincible. I'll look up Daredevil, because I.
Season 3.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. No, you're right.
Uh, oh, okay. February 6th.
Oh, earlier than I expected.
Oh, so we're going to have a lot of.
We're gonna be watching the Defender Saga too.
There's going to
Oh,
be so much.
This is gonna be so much fun. So you were right. March whatever was Daredevil.
4th.
Yeah, you were correct.
Um,
So anyway,
so, okay. So we're going to have Harley Quinn. We're going to have Friendly Neighborhood
first
Spider-Man.
off, Harley Quinn is one episode. Okay. But
That's
yes.
still something else to add to our plate.
Well, you know what, Mike? Things happen. All right. You got to be prepared for Daredevil Born Again.
See, here's the thing: is for me, it's fine. I got plenty of time right now. For you, I'm going to be hearing you crying about how you're stressed about getting all this stuff filled in, because you're going to be having to watch 20-something episodes in 1 week. So by the end of that week, you're gonna be in tears.
I'm already in tears. So the big thing here too is like, so yeah, I have no concerns with it, to be honest with you, because I think the first weird week of that is the Defender Saga, so it's only 10 episodes, so I'm not worried.
I guess that's a good thing.
But then it will be horrible when we go to Jessica Jones 2 when it's the 13 again.
But at least on that point, it'll be only 1 episode of Invincible.
Actually, also true, which is also really good.
And Invincible has their episodes are 40 minutes.
No, I know.
So that's actually something to keep in mind.
I'm well aware. But anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna be jam-packed, which I'm not mad about, because let's be honest, I think we're doing great, because you needed to see the Defender Saga to truly appreciate Daredevil Born Again. I don't necessarily, and we talked about this, I didn't know if you needed to see all of it, but at this point, we're already here. Let's just.
No. I mean, I'll definitely try my best to get it all.
Because I think the big thing too, and we're definitely going to be getting to Daredevil season 3 before Daredevil Born Again without a problem.
Okay.
Which is the most important one, I feel, based on what I've seen so far in the trailer. That doesn't mean other stuff isn't going to be introduced and everything else, but like based on what I've seen in the trailer, you need to see 3 before you see Born Again.
Hold on, I just want to see Defender Saga.
Because it goes, it's Luke Cage next week, it's then Iron Fist, then it's Defenders, then it's Jessica Jones 2, then it's, oh no, is it Jessica Jones 2 or Punisher?
I'm pulling it up right now. So it is Daredevil season 1, Jessica Jones 1, Daredevil 2, Luke Cage 1, Iron Fist 1, Defenders, Punisher 1, Jessica Jones 2,
Daredevil 3,
Luke Cage 2, Iron Fist 2,
wow,
Daredevil 3. and then it goes after Daredevil 3, then Punisher 2, Jessica Jones 3.
Interesting.
Um,
I'm not mad about that
what
though.
you know what's actually funny is that in the Defender saga, this thing that I just looked up, uh, after Jessica Jones, it goes Hawkeye season 1,
Oh, that's
Spider-Man No
yeah.
Way Home,
Well, that's.
She-Hulk,
Do you know why?
Echo, and Daredevil.
You know why?
Because I know Spider-Man is supposed to turn into a street level hero. At least that's the theory.
Because Matt Murdock was in that movie.
Oh, that's No Way Home. Okay. For some so no. I read it in my head. I read
Podcast is
no
canceled.
in my so I read No Way Home, but in my head I said Far From Home. So I was thinking Mysterio.
Anyway,
Listen,
and Echo obviously because Kingpin's in it.
I mean Echo was tied to
Well, no,
that as
she's considered part of it. But I mean,
yeah.
like, it's not the Defender saga anymore. But
Yeah.
yes, it's supposed to be the continuation of it. But yeah, so
Obviously,
that
like it makes sense for Hawkeye as well. Hawkeye, Echo, those tie into the Defender saga now.
well, let's move right on to because we're done with Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We're now gonna move on to Daredevil season 2. I forgot how good this season was, and in fact, it has the bloodiest and best fight scene to be in Marvel on up until Deadpool and Wolverine.
It was a gory. It was gory. It was dark. It pissed me off to no end this entire season.
Why?
But like, I understand. Like, obviously, that was the point that they were trying to do. But it
Like,
was
what were you
just
pissed
like
off about?
just the way that Matt was going about, keeping his friends at a distance.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
like that. Obviously, that's part of the story and how they're trying to tell the story. But it was like I was getting so mad because it's like, oh my god, just talk to your friends.
Especially since, like, one of them knows what's going on. Like, that's the thing that kills me. Like,
Yeah,
Foggy knows what's going on. Like, don't get me wrong, he still doesn't fully understand, but that's more because of Matt, not because of him. Like, he's even
he
said it, like, if you tell me what's going on, I'll have a better idea. But, like, you put me in the dark, so I'm assuming, like, you don't care.
yeah. It's like that whole thing with uh, Electra coming in. It was like you just talk to your friend, then things would get smoothed over. Like just be upfront with him. Then the whole court case wouldn't be like it would be a big deal, but like it wouldn't be like you wouldn't be leaving them hanging.
The
At
way
least he could.
the way this season was supposed to go. So season 1 was obviously Daredevil becoming Daredevil.
Yeah,
Season 2 is how can he be Daredevil and Matt Murdock at the same time? And in season 2, let's be honest, he really can't.
he failed miserably.
No, but you get my point. So it's like the idea is he can't do that.
Yeah.
So now the idea is it's like now you're going to be questioning or should be questioning in season 3, is he going to be Daredevil or is he going to try to be Matt Murdock?
I mean, I think the way that season 2 ended, he wants to be more Daredevil, but he's still going to make time for Matt Murdock with the way that they it kind of literally kind of like Batman, where
I'll say it
Batman
this way. How about this? How about this? I'll say it this way. When you watch the Defenders, you'll know where season 3 goes because Defenders is like the next step for all of the shows
yeah,
except for one which you'll understand obviously because it hasn't started yet. Um
fair.
Punisher, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
So like everyone else, like they're after you watch all the other shows, so it's going to show you like the next steps for Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist after you've already seen them, and then you're going to be like, oh, now we're going to figure out where they go after the Defender saga. I mean, well, the Defenders, I should say. Um, but yeah, so overall, Frank Castle, phenomenal character.
oh my god, like
They
he
could the one thing I will say is like other than one character throughout the entire Defender saga, in my opinion, they perfectly casted everyone.
yeah. I mean, so far it's been pretty good.
No, no, I know, but there's only one, and I've been very vocal about it. It's just been Danny Radcliffe. No, no, that's wrong. Danny, I can't think of his last name now, but Iron Fist,
Yeah,
because his character's name's Danny something, and I can't remember now. But yeah, that's the one I'm least looking forward to. But that being said, um, I think every other like they did such a great job in casting. Like, granted, they're not like big name people, obviously,
Yeah.
but they're
I think
so
I,
well done.
I think in this the biggest name was there were two big names
Well,
in the
Vincent
Defender.
D'Onofrio is huge, obviously. Granted, he's huge in the sense of like he was a big like TV star, like because he was Law and Order and everything else. So like that's what he was known for before Kingpin. Now you only know him as Kingpin.
No, no, no. So like yes, I forgot about him, but no, I was gonna say it was because we had the guy that played Punisher. He came from Walking Dead, so he had the kind of a big
No,
spotlight.
that's true. That's true. You're
And
right.
then
But he still
Rosaria
wasn't big.
Dawson
He still wasn't big yet.
was a bigger name as well.
Wait, who?
Rosaria Dawson.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Well,
Otherwise, most of these other characters are more unknown.
well, here's the thing. Her and Punisher both have been in so many things, but like weren't really like main character stuff
Yeah.
until like recent. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
not to say that they're not good actors, they're phenomenal. I'm just stating like they've been in so much, but they really weren't like the
No,
face of the show
they were
or everything
backup
written.
characters for the most
But
part. Like
so good in everything that
um
they've been in. But anyway, yeah. So you're absolutely correct. How did you feel about Elektra?
I'll be honest, I was a little bit confused on that one because I didn't know so that was one of the things I wanted to ask you was if Elektra kind of was that character legitimately in the comics or it was just a unique twist that they were putting on her character.
So
Because obviously the Elektra that I know was from the Ben Affleck movie, which obviously terrible. But
all right, so I'll say it this way: and you've never seen Elektra the movie, right? The one with just Jennifer Gardner.
no, I did
Okay,
not actually.
so the idea is she's always been an assassin, and she's never always been like good in the.
Okay,
In,
so
so
that
it's like it.
is
So I don't want to say she was ever like. I don't think she was ever like truly evil. Evil. I mean, I think there were definitely times she was. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, I think her first introduction, like in some of the things, like she's more of like an assassin killer where like she's doing it like think of it like Punisher almost, I guess. Like she's doing it kind of like for the good, but like killing's still not great.
yeah, okay.
Um, and she has been the leader of the hand several times, along with
She has.
and
Okay.
Daredevil has as well. Um, fun fact for the kids, but no, Elektra has been the leader of the hand on multiple occasions. So like all of that, yes. The Black Sky piece, I think that's more of the show thing.
Yep.
Um, but the idea is she's meant to be the leader of the hand.
Yep.
Like that's the idea because like they're expecting somebody to rise above and be the greatest leader to ever rule them, and so like the idea is her. And obviously she's dead now, so it's like what's going to be next steps? Why'd you do that? Why did you do that?
What do you mean? Why did I do that? I watched the end of the episode, so clearly she's coming back to life.
I'm not gonna tell you when. Um,
um,
but no, so the whole point is so like that is like that I consider to be like accurate, but I think they heavily focused on her being more of a killer and like liking
well,
it than
yeah, clearly.
how it is in the comics, in my opinion. Because I
Okay.
don't think she necessarily loved doing it; it was more of a necessity.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
That's
just
what I want.
that's just
That's
my
kind of.
thought.
I didn't know how accurate it was from the comic base. So,
No, this was a different take of Elektra, but not significant. I'll say it that way. Like, meaning like it wasn't so different that it ruined the character.
yeah.
Because like
Okay.
she still tried to do good, even though she was basically like fighting it.
She was unsure. She didn't know what good was.
Her only yeah, basically like her life was like made to be like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Um, I also
Also, I want to say too. I remember at the end of season 1, you had mentioned about how they had hinted Elektra, and I didn't pick up on it. But and then I had asked because I said I didn't realize that Elektra was in the series because I didn't hear anything about her, and you had said, yeah, I'm not really sure if she ever shows up. You just like boldface lied to me right there. Like she blatantly shows up.
she is a main plot point.
Yeah, like my God, you just like as soon as I saw her show up, I'm like, Scott, you son of a.
The best part is I just loved how you had legitimately no idea, so I was like, well, I don't want to ruin it for him, so I'm gonna
Uh,
lie to his face.
yeah, no,
Right?
I didn't know. I didn't like. I had heard about all the other characters, but I never heard anything about Elektra showing
She
up.
is, yeah. So you're gonna. So she was. I think what was weird about the whole thing is she's considered a side character, which I sort of understand because she didn't have her own show.
Yeah, she was
But
a side character, but she was a major side character.
that's what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna also be introduced to a few other characters who are, I'll say it this way, that are characters in Marvel that you've technically already seen, in a weird way. I'll say it that way. But like they're not main, like they're not big characters, so it's not that big of a deal. But you'll understand what I mean when you watch it. Um,
Okay.
or at least I'll. It's gonna be a while, but you'll know what I'm talking about. I'll have to bring it up again. But that being said, I love this. I love Kingpin being Kingpin. Like this is the first time Fisk is Kingpin.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Like, they really dropped that name too because he was said like the guy in jail was like I'm the kingpin in this
there's
part
only
and
room for one Kingpin here, and it's
yeah.
like you're absolutely right. You are 100% right. There was only room for one Kingpin, and I love
Yep. Yep. I really it really showed like how good he is. Like just being able to manipulate everything and take control of the prison
now you can
and
understand
then
why I was not that I was disappointed, but like the seeing the Kingpin in Hawkeye did not give him justice as much as the show did. Like the not to say
yeah.
it was bad. Do not get me wrong. I was happy to see him back. I'll never question that. But I mean, like that wasn't like the Kingpin I knew because he had to rebuild himself again.
Yeah. I mean, which is fair. Like
No, absolutely.
he's lost power and he's got to come back. So
No,
like
no, absolutely, and they explain it too. Like it's because of the snap and the blip and everything else screwing everything up.
yep.
But yeah, so yeah, season two was just so good because you get to see Paige go into her new outlet. Foggy going into his. Foggy now working for Jessica Jones's lawyer
Yep. Yeah.
because
Because
she's now created
they
her.
never officially confirmed the offer, but we're assuming he did.
I thought it was very assumed that he took it.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I mean, like he never said yes, but that's my point. Like
no,
obviously
but he
by
also
his
didn't say
reaction,
no either.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, and then obviously, so we now have the connection with because now the big thing is going to be vigilantes be having lawyers.
yep, and of course, what's his name is in everything apparently, which I didn't know. What the principal from Gen V or the dean, what's his name?
Oh yes, no, yes, yes, it is. He was also in Penguin. Um,
yeah,
and he was in Ahsoka.
he was in Ahsoka. He was in Rebels. He was in Gen V. He was in apparently a lot of Star Wars shows that I had no idea.
Yeah, no, that too. Yeah, so he also plays in this. Obviously, I think I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he does come back for like a flashback cameo.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, there's what?
No. I believe there might be like a flashback in Punisher where we see him again, but it's not him. Like
yeah,
he's still dead.
yeah. Okay.
I'll ruin that for you. He's dead.
Hey,
Um,
better be.
but no, he if I remember correctly, I think he comes back for Punisher 1, but it's only for like a cameo slash like flashback if I remember correctly.
I also I like speaking of cameos, like I now understand why you didn't because I had mentioned after Daredevil season 1 about how you could have your character spotlight on like sticks. I now understand why you didn't.
Because like my whole point was like I was like I can't in good justice do it because it's like if I do, I'm going to give away like major plot points later on.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
I kept Elektra a secret from you. I
Yep.
kept that from you, okay?
Elektra and the hands, like those are two major parts. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming.
Well, I had to keep that a secret too because it's like because the same thing with Naboo.
Naboo, yeah.
Like I was like I have to keep my mouth shut because like he plays a because you were like, well, what about Naboo? And I'm like I can't.
Obviously, like I didn't. I expected him to be dead. So
Well, the idea was, and I think this was the point of it, was the idea was to show Naboo back because it brings up the idea of resurrection,
Yeah.
which
Um.
obviously is heavily hinted on at the end of season 2 with somebody being in a pod.
Yep.
Um, but
Obviously, we saw what's her name? Gao. Was that her
yep,
name? She
yeah,
came back.
and I can't. So the other thing too is it's like there's so much I want to say, but I can't say anything
Uh, Yeah, I know you can't because it'll spoil things. I know.
because like everything from now on, I believe spoils the defenders if I talk too much about. From Daredevil 2, oddly enough, Luke Cage, which is hilarious to me, because you wouldn't think so, and Iron Fist.
Yeah. They. I mean, either way, like I have my thoughts. Obviously, like obviously they're
What are
gonna.
your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well,
No, 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 no. You said it. Now say it.
well, no. I mean, it's not really my thoughts. It's like obviously Kingpin becomes more of a player. We're gonna probably. I'm guessing we're gonna see.
So wait, oh, I'm sorry. So I understand. When you talk about the Defenders, you talk about the Defenders show, like the whole
No, no,
saga.
no, not the show, not the show. Just in general.
Oh no, no, that's fair. That's fair. I wanted to make sure because those are two very different things. And
Yeah,
that
no,
makes
no,
sense.
no. I understand.
Okay.
But I think Kingpin plays a major part because just of my knowledge, I feel like from my knowledge was that Kingpin was supposed to be a major player in Daredevil, so he played a major part in season 1, played a minor role in season 2. He'll probably play a major role in season 3. Um,
Oh, I
we're
forgot to
getting
mention
up.
season 4, Daredevil Born Again. We do see Vanessa.
Yep, I
Sorry,
did see her. Yep, yep,
sorry,
yep, yep.
sorry. Continue. That was just another
Um,
character I forgot to mention.
obviously we have a lot of time to fill, so it's like it's gonna be what happens between season 3 and Born Again.
Well,
Um,
we sort of have a little bit of that filled in.
yeah,
Granted, not a lot. They're going to go in heavy detail, obviously, in the show. But I mean, like we have snippets of it, so we have a better idea.
yeah,
um, before going in. But you're right, and also too, like where the rest of the characters are, because like Punisher was somebody we weren't 100% sure was good. I'll say this: we knew he was coming back. I don't think we knew it was going to be this quick. I'll say it that way.
oh, you're talking about in Daredevil
In
Born
Daredevil
Again.
Born Again, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So like the idea was like we knew he was confirmed to be back as Punisher, but like the
Well, there
idea
was no confirmation. It was rumors, and
that's true.
then
You're right.
and then at D23 they showed a trailer to the audience members, and Punisher showed up.
Yeah.
And that's where the confirmation showed up. But
Yeah, I mean, like I'm very excited. Season 2 was good. You get to see the introduction of the Hand, which were thought to be the Yakuza, obviously,
yep, yep,
but it obviously wasn't. And then you also saw like the rival gangs. Like gangs aren't a thing right now because the Punisher took most of them out.
yep.
Not to say that they don't play a major role again, blah blah blah. But like realistically, the idea is there's a
They're always
void.
around.
Well,
Someone's
there's
gonna
a
fill the
void
void.
now. Well, that's
Yeah,
the whole thing. And that plays a huge role too. And then, like I said, we have the friend group split up,
yeah.
and
That's what kind of like. I loved how the reporter, the boss of Ben, took Kara under his wing, and
Karen,
helped got Kara. Thank you.
Karen. You keep saying Karen.
Oh, Karen. Sorry. um. Oh, it's annoying, isn't it?
No, it's only annoying after I say it the third time, literally in a row. No, 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 no. There are gaps in time when I say it. There are gaps in time.
Doesn't matter if there's gaps in times. It's been how many years that I've been correcting you and it's still wrong. All
Gaps in
right.
time, Mike. You're not doing it daily. Anyway,
Johnny Olson, and I rest my case. All right. But I love that he took her under took her under his
like, I
wing.
don't remember. I literally said, "What? That sounds correct." Ugh. No, but you're right. He took her under her wing, but it's because she already had the talent there.
Oh yeah.
Like he
And
wasn't
like
gonna.
but like every time she wanted to give up, he was like don't. Like,
Well, the
it's
other
going to
thing
be
too is
tough.
like in his mind, he's also showing her like how to do it. Like you want to do a story that everyone's already talking about, do a different one. The
Yeah.
idea is you want to stand out, and like he's like you already have it, just figure it out.
Yep.
I like
Um
that. I also like them closing out Josie's too. That was a great end of their
Oh,
friendship.
it was so sad.
But Josie was just like, "Yeah, right," and he's like, "No, I'm serious," and she's like, "All right."
Yeah. No, I was actually very upset about that. I was like, oh, that signifying the end of their, togetherness.
Yep. Yeah. No. And again, it was so good. Um, but yeah, no. Season two was I still thought was really good. I
No,
forgot about the jail scene
which one?
because no, I meant like the big one.
Oh,
When
like when with
he gets
Punisher.
locked in, yeah, when he gets
Yeah,
locked in. No, so that when that first came out, like people were talking about it because it was the bloodiest scene that Marvel had ever done. And they're
yeah,
like, granted it's Netflix, but it's like this is Marvel and this is the most
yep.
rated M for mature like you could ever imagine. It's too bloody. It's too bloody. And then
Yep.
like it's still so iconic cuz like when I watched it again I was like I literally had to I I sometimes do other things when I watch a show, I'm not going to lie. I put
Shocking.
shut up. I put I put everything away for 7 minutes in heaven because
Wow.
I mean it's a scene that you cannot miss a single second of it because that scene is legitimately I believe 7 minutes exactly. Um,
It reminds me of the Watchmen movie when Rorschach gets locked in prison, when it's when he like the inmates were like, oh, you're locked in here with us now, and he turns around, he's like, you think I'm in here with you? No, you're in here with me. And that just like that is like the exact same thing where it's like,
well, the
oh,
idea
you
is it's
think
like, and I get where the prisoners come from. They're like, it's 48-1. We got this, right?
yeah.
And then the Punisher's like, hold my beer. And he just goes to town. And like, don't get me wrong, he takes hits for sure. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
not going out of there unscathed. But man, does he make sure everyone goes? And I just love Kingpin being like, and Kingpin comes in and he's like, you tried to kill me. He's like, yeah, and I failed. So now I'm going out with a new plan. So,
Yeah.
and it's just so Kingpin because it's like, and then when Kingpin starts beating him up, so good.
And I loved after he just starts laughing, and it's like, okay, you're psycho.
Yeah, I also like Matt Murdock hitting, almost said Penguin, hitting Kingpin in the face.
Yeah.
Because the reason, here's my thing with this, and Matt, the reason why that scene was so like intense, more so than on the surface, was because it wasn't because Matt couldn't take down Kingpin. Like he could have broken out and like really like beat him up and stuff. Not to say he
Yeah.
would have won for sure without his armor and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but like he could have gotten away from him. I'll say it that way. He had to restrain himself so much because
Yep.
he didn't want anyone to know that he was Daredevil.
No, yeah. It was a fight for which one he'd rather be in control of. Does he want the lawyer or does he want the devil? It was like which one was gonna win out. And it was tough because he
Well, there
he
was a
lost
moment that
control for a little bit.
I was gonna say there was a moment the devil came out. There
Yeah.
was a moment the devil came out and he got hit in the face and yeah. But
No, I
so
mean this season had a lot, like you said at the beginning. It was like conflicting between how he could balance his life, and it was a lot of question, like not even just him, but like a lot of other characters as well. Because
absolutely.
it like with the Punisher, what like whether he could be good or not, like he whether he was conflicted in what he was doing, like hearing from the general all the good things that he was talking to himself about. How he just wanted to, he was like, "Oh, I got my revenge. Just lock me up. I don't care about anything else." Or how he refused to go see his family home after his family was murdered uh,
Until
until the end, which then goes out with a bang. But it's like
well, and you know the concept of that idea, right? Like why he
it.
burned it down.
It's just like it's in the past. Like leave it
Well, as
behind.
stupid as it sounds, he's literally it. How do I want to phrase this? Because it's not going to sound accurate enough. The idea is he is over that piece of it. Like it's not.
Yeah,
It is not something that is destroying him internally. I shouldn't say he's over it. Like it still affects him, obviously, but like it's not the main point of his life at this time.
yeah, yeah.
Because
Like
he's
he's closing the chapter.
that's what I think.
But
Um,
man. But like I really did enjoy that scene because when he comes into the room, I'm expecting him to be like depressed and very angry and sad and like wanting to destroy things, which he does, but that in a different context.
yeah,
But Like he comes in and he's looking around and he actually has a smile and he's happy,
Well,
and
that's
he
the thing.
sits
Like,
down at the table.
it wasn't like horrible memories for him like he was expecting it to be.
Yeah,
Also, can we talk about him shooting ninjas?
that was awesome.
I just remember. I remember. It still shocked me, even though I've already seen it. Was when the first bullet hits the ninja, and I go, "Who the hell's shooting?" Like, and granted, the first time seeing it, I know for a fact I had no clue that was going to happen, and I should have known it this time, and I still didn't because I was so focused. Like, because he's so different from those characters, the fact that he gets involved even slightly is a shock to me, just
Yeah.
because of how completely different worlds it is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And just being like, "I'll see you around, Red," and then just leaves. It was
I
so
when
good.
when that happened, I was my immediate response was, "How the hell did the cops get up there without the ninjas killing them?" And then it's like you see the sniper shots from Punisher. I'm like, that makes sense.
That 100% makes sense. But yeah, so good. But yeah, we could continue to talk about this more, but let's move on to Harley Quinn season 5, because I think we've gone over pretty much everything in season 2.
I mean, we could talk about more, but it runs the risk of you not knowing and blurring the lines of what's in later seasons. So, better to move on.
I'll say this: when we talk about final seasons, I will go into great detail about everything because I won't be concerned about ruining anything.
Yeah. Plus excuse me. Plus everything's going to be more fresh in your head, so you know what's what.
No, absolutely. Well, that's the other thing too, where it's like in my mind, I'm not 100% sure what's in Defenders and what's in
Yeah.
season 3. I don't want to ruin anything, right? But anyway, so we now are going to be talking about Harley Quinn season 5, the premiere. So this was a completely different episode than I was expecting, but we got all the answers we were looking for. What happened to the Gotham City sirens, which was hilarious.
It's just
I
like
I thought that was the best part of the whole thing, being like, yeah, this isn't working out because Catwoman keeps tricking us into stealing valuables, which is
Catwoman keeps tricking us, and they don't appreciate Barbara. So
Barbara
that's
doesn't
it.
exist. It's only a team of 3,
Yeah.
and that was hilarious. And then they all split up, except for obviously Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, and then
Yep.
they become a couple in the rut in Gotham, where they just do the same thing over and over again. And then we have Riddler and Clockman, who can we
Clock
just
King.
appreciate, huh?
Clock King.
Oh, sorry, Clock King. Um, can we just appreciate how great those two characters are? Um,
Yeah, they're like the perfect amount of like in your face and perfect amount of annoying that it like it's like they work perfectly.
well, they're the exact opposite of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in
Yeah.
every way possible, right? And the
Yep.
fact that is like they both try to be the Gotham City gay couple,
Yeah.
and it's their competition. Like that's legitimately what it comes down to. It's competition.
100%. And it's hilarious because like them just showing up just irritates the other two.
And
It's
it's like,
like
oh great, here we go. And then like, oh, and then Riddler's like, how come you didn't come to my birthday party? And Clock King's like, I didn't invite them because they're in a rut right now and they don't go into anything. So why invite them? And Harley Quinn
yep.
obviously takes that to heart, and Poison Ivy doesn't care. And then they go home and find out about the Superman Museum. And then Harley Quinn's like, we need to go. And they get all dressed up, ready to go. And Poison Ivy's, and of course they make the joke, Harley Quinn makes the joke of like, oh, we get to wear underwear for this. And she's like, yeah, I don't know if we should be bragging about wearing underwear right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go inside. They get kicked out by these robots that seemingly look like Brainiac droids. Wink, wink. Um,
the
that's
new
all.
the new Metropolis Defenders basically.
Aren't they the Metropolis like security system? Isn't that what they're called?
Something like that. Yeah,
But
I
anyway,
don't remember the exact wording.
we also have Lex Luthor's sister, who's like the new Luthor in town, who's apparently supposed to be the good guy.
Yep.
She's also dating Bruce Wayne.
Yep, she is.
Um, and can we just talk about the funniest line out of that whole thing, where when she gets introduced as Batman's girlfriend. Granted, we know it's not Batman, it's Bruce Wayne, but she's like, oh yeah, he loves to be dominated and stuff like that. Like he likes to be told what to do, and he goes, he even calls me Martha in bed.
Oh yeah, it's just,
She's
he's
kidding.
like, no, I don't do that.
She's kidding. She's kidding. Obviously. Um,
and then
that
what is she, then she turns around. Then she turns around. And is like, don't you ever interrupt me again.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. He goes, doesn't he say yes, mom?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he says yes, mom.
Anyway, so we have that going on. So Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy get kicked out of there by these security droids because they're Gotham.
Gotham trash
Thank you.
or something,
Yeah, but
something
no,
along
but
those lines.
well, that's what people call them. But the robots, I think, are like Gotham something. Like there's something in the program, and I'll
I
take
think it's like Gothamite slime or something like that.
something like that.
Something that is like they're gross.
Correct. And so they get kicked out of there. They then take the silk scarf or silk dancers outfits and run inside to be the act because they want to steal Superman's present or like the box that has Superman's greatest whatever in it, right?
Yeah.
I forgot how they describe it because I know what's in it, obviously, but like they describe it as like this most expensive and elaborate thing possible.
Superman's most cherished gift or something.
Something, yeah, it was something like that, and it was, but they insinuated it's from Krypton, which obviously it is. But like the idea is, it's like it's meant to be something expensive in
Yeah.
their mind. So anyway, they start swinging on the ropes. They get attacked by the robots. They destroy a lot of the robots. They also see Superman eating chips on top of the museum,
Yeah, they're like, oh wow, he's big depressed.
and then they continue their fight. And eventually, the robots stop chasing after them. They land. They get celebrated for their work in the sense of like their artwork, and then they take the box and show that it is his blanket.
Hmm.
And then that part goes away, and then they stay in Metropolis for a little bit longer. They Lana Luthor, is that her name?
Lena.
Lena. Sorry. She invites both Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn to breakfast, lunch, a meal.
A get together.
That's a better phrase. I like that. So she talks to the two of them and everything else, and who do they kill?
Eclipso.
Yes, the demon inside of the
Necklace. Yep.
Thank you. I was
From
like,
the very beginning when they introduced the show, when they were going to get Catwoman's, it was
it was Enchantress's necklace.
Enchantress. Yep.
Yes, and that's the demon that lives inside of it.
Yep.
So anyway, that comes out of her necklace because she bought it from Catwoman.
Well, no, she bought it from a store.
Indirectly got it from Catwoman. Let's be
Yep.
honest.
That was actually really funny. They're like, "Where did you get that?" I bought it from so and so.
Bad. A Luthor would be bad, and she's like, "I bought it at a store."
And then they're like, "Catwoman."
And then the demon comes out. They kill him right away. Blood everywhere, and
Superman shows up. I'm here to rescue you. What can I do? Oh, you don't need me.
And then Harley Quinn's like, "I'll take care of this. You continue to talk to Alana." So she walks over, and she's Harleen Quinzel right now.
Yep.
And speaking to Superman, who's like, I'm Superman, and like the world doesn't need me right now, and it's really sad. And she's like, well, try to figure out what Superman is like without needing Superman. And he's like, you're absolutely right. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna go off world. I'm gonna figure out who I am, and I'm gonna take that dashing Clark Kent reporter with me too. And that played a major role in the jokes later that I was not prepared for.
Oh yeah.
Because nobody, as of right now, we're assuming Lois Lane knows.
Yeah.
And obviously Bruce Wayne. But like right now the idea is the world does not know who Superman is.
Yep, we're just like in the trailer, like no one knows who Superman is, so
and it blows my mind because obviously they talk about staying in Metropolis, and apparently Harley Quinn bought a condo from Bruce Wayne at a horrible interest rate and everything else.
Yep.
And Poison Ivy's like pissed off about it, but at the same time excited because they're going to stay in Metropolis because the idea is Poison Ivy's going to be the head of the Green Initiative in Metropolis. And they make jokes about how, and I can't believe that Superman's cheating on Lois Lane with Clark Kent. It is by far the funniest sentence ever to be iterated because everyone who's ever watched Superman knows that it's Clark Kent, which is why it's even funnier because in that universe they have no clue.
Yep.
So then we see the security droids delete all of Ivy's plants, and then it looks like it's at 99% perfection. And then we pan over to both Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, and it drops down to 86%. And he wants to eliminate the two of them.
Brainiac.
Because Brainiac's in charge of keeping Metropolis perfect.
Yep. his perfect utopia, which is
Yeah,
same thing.
which is typical to him. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so very excited to see where this was going. We got a lot of our answers for like how they were gonna get rid of the sirens and stuff like that. They did it right away. Was
Yep.
very happy with it. I don't know. I feel like I feel better about this season than I have in the past.
So far the season, the first episode is off to a good start. It's them getting into mischief. Them, but they're getting into mischief, but still keeping to like the character development that they had in the last two seasons, which is okay.
Yeah,
Um,
like Poison Ivy is not like your stereotypical bad guy, and he never really was.
yeah.
She wants the world to be greener. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, they dumb it down in this show for obvious reasons,
Yep.
but at the same time, and then we have Harley Quinn trying to figure out who she wants to be
Yep.
because she
Um,
really never really knows what she wants. Let's be honest.
no, no,
Well,
she just wants to cause mayhem.
she wants to do what she wants when she wants.
Yeah, pretty much.
She
Yeah.
wants to have her. She wants to do whatever she wants when she wants, immediately when she wants to do it. And so, like, that's the whole idea. But yeah, I mean, overall, this was a great start. I'm excited to see where it goes. We know that obviously Brainiac tries to invade to stop them. But I'll say it this way: we knew Brainiac invaded. We didn't realize it was going to be specifically attacking those two. Um, you know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised on that front. Not that
Yep.
it ruins anything. It makes perfect sense based on how they describe it.
What they're showing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it makes sense because I'm trying to make a utopia for for Metropolis, and like they shouldn't be a part of it.
Yeah. They're messing it up.
Which again is
Also,
makes
Superman is out of the equation at least for the moment.
it look,
So
but the way the season made it seem too was Superman was out of the picture for the entire season. It looked like.
from the
So,
trailer. So
but
like at
again,
least for the
that doesn't.
moment, when it comes to fighting Brainiac, Superman's not involved. Obviously, it's just a trailer. Anything
But
can happen.
Joker does show up.
Yep, Joker's gonna be there.
Still love that scene. Anyway, um, but yeah, so let's move on from there because I think that's everything for Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the season/series finale of Skeleton Crew. Before we go into detail, what were your thoughts overall?
the show overall or the
Just this
episode.
particular episode. The
I
show
really,
overall I liked,
I really enjoyed it.
but
I, huh?
but
So I wish there was a little bit more.
thank you for saying that because I thought you were going to say to me, "Oh, because it didn't end on a cliffhanger. It didn't end on a cliffhanger. It ended in a way where I felt like there should have been like 15 more minutes or
Yeah,
like 10 more minutes.
honestly, like it needed like an epilogue to like finish it out.
Like I didn't need another episode. I needed like 5-10 minutes of them being like, "Hey, like we're going to be protecting you now that the barrier's gone." Something short and sweet. Like it didn't need to be huge, but
Yep.
like something. And I got none of that. So it was like it alluded to the fact like now the galaxy is all yours, Wim. And it's like that's it. And I was like, it didn't ruin
It
the show,
didn't ruin it, but
but it's
it
like
could
I
have
felt like
like
give me something.
you needed we needed a little bit more to close out the season.
Like
And
and we also didn't know what was happening to some of the major characters at the end
exactly.
too. Like, are they dead? Are they alive? Are they captured? Did they
Yep.
escape? We don't know.
It was one of those things where it's like you said with Jod, when he at the end of it he didn't want to leave because he wanted to watch. He lost, so he was ready to accept his loss. We didn't see, like you said, he didn't know if he got captured. We didn't know if he got shot.
Correct.
Obviously, the
Or he
pirate crew
escaped.
got killed or he escaped. Um, but like then like obviously like you said with the barrier being down, are they going to be a part of the republic now, like fully incorporated?
Well, the New Republic, and are they going to continue their mint, or is that going to be something that gets stopped? Like because now they're going to be a target. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, it's one of those things where I needed like an answer for just
We
that.
needed a couple more minutes.
Honestly, just a sentence. Like I know it sounds stupid to say, but like anything for them to be like, this is what's going on. This is the idea of what happened. It doesn't need to be like set in stone. Like
Yeah,
obviously things can change, but it's like you're part of the New Republic now, or something along those lines, right?
absolutely.
So that just is where I overall though show is great.
Overall, I would probably give the show like I'm gonna go in the middle and say 8.5 out of 10. Um, it was it was honestly a really good show. There was really nothing wrong with the show.
It was a great children's Star Wars show.
Yeah, and I mean, even for a children's show, it had some intense scenes.
No, absolutely,
Like,
absolutely. No, this game, no, abs 100%.
um,
And this was
like,
this was good. I also I loved the kids. So the one thing that I have to say, and what they did a really good job of, is innocence and experience was what they
yep.
really showed here, and the Ad Atten is so out of the loop that they just they basically concave as soon as the pirates came in, right? Um,
Hmm.
except for these four kids. These four kids were not afraid to do what they needed to do. Granted, don't get me
Yep.
wrong, they are still kids. They didn't feel confident to do a lot of things, but they did a lot more than all the adults, let's be honest.
At the end of the day, they were willing to do it because they've already been through a lot. But
And they know, and
they
they
just
knew.
needed the extra help with the adults,
No,
and the
absolutely.
adults, like you said, were because they've been closed off for so long that the adults were afraid to do it, and only was willing to do it because their kids were going into danger.
Absolutely.
Um, at the
I
end of
mean,
the day, the parental instinct to help their kids kicked in, which was
no,
good.
absolutely. Which
Um,
we would have been expecting anyway. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so like
Um,
the episode starts with Fern and so basically Jack tells the droids to bring all the kids home, make sure that they are locked in.
I want to say that at least you were right. Obviously, you ended up being right with the robot, which I had said earlier in the season, but I wasn't positive how that was going to be going. The robot was in charge,
I will say
but
not in the way that I thought.
oh, that's for sure. Um, but I was right about the pirates invading at Atten, which you thought was not going to happen.
No, you're absolutely
Excuse me.
correct. I was wrong on that front. I was also surprised that they could program it for any ship to go through the barrier.
Yeah,
That was the thing that threw me off. That didn't ruin anything for me because but it just, I was surprised. I'll say it that way.
yeah.
But anyway, so he tells the droids to bring the kids home, and that there to be any action that they take, you to let me know immediately, and and he talks to Fern's mother, and it's like, wouldn't it be great for Fern to see the supervisor? And she's like, absolutely. And so they go up to the supervisor's tower, and we see that this massive droid is the supervisor. And to me, it's the funniest thing because he talks about it being an ambassador and everything else, and then he slips up by calling himself a Jedi. And then the droid's like, the last time we got a call, there's one thing that intrigues me that I want you to answer, and it's like, you say you're a Jedi, but yet the last report we got from the Republic was the Jedi's were traitors. So what is it? Are you lying that you're an ambassador, or are you lying that you're a Jedi? Take him out, boys.
Yep.
And then he just full on just zoop, right into the eye, and shuts down. Apparently, he runs every piece of the AT-AT. As soon as he was
Yeah,
shut
he is
down,
in full control.
everything shut down. And then that's when Wim is like, Dad, look at the security droids are down. Like, we need to get over there immediately. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Dad, it's bad. Like, we gotta go now. And while they're getting ready to go, he convinces his dad to at least go with him to a certain degree. And then that's when Fern's mother allows the big ship to come in through the barrier because she didn't want to shut the barrier off for obvious reasons. Um, but here's my thing, and I got a dumb question. Couldn't they just turn the barrier back on?
No, because they said in the episode that when they pulled that switch, it destroyed it.
That's right.
Um, it basically like a failsafe.
Understood. Um, I just was curious. Um, but anyway, so she allows them to come in, and then they start invading. So that's when Neil and KB come in with their hover bikes, and then Wim gets on his, and they take off. The dad then runs, takes slash borrows the other
Someone
kid,
else's hover bike.
someone else's hover bike, and goes with the kids. And that is by far the best scene of the dad realizing that his kid knows what's going on better than he does.
Well, at first he was still trying to stop him
No, he was
until
until the pirates started coming.
yep.
And then they start zooming around, getting blasted by the pirates. They get into the school, and Neil gets blasted off his bike. And then he tells them to keep going, which I still think was a great scene because then he runs upstairs. Um,
Which I still love him, like just this little waddle running away from.
no, can we talk about him rolling? Can we talk about him rolling away from the light?
I love that little character. He is so fun.
Perfect. He is so perfect. So anyway, so then we have the three of them make it to the ship. KV tries to take off. They can't because the docking locks are in. So then Wim's like, oh no, Wim's dad was like, oh, we need to turn power back in here to open it. And KV's like, how the hell do we do that? Although she didn't say hell, sorry. And Wim's dad's like, oh, we
keep it accurate.
All right, that's why I said what I said. So Wim's dad's like, well, it's only can be done at the supervisor's tower. And Wim's like, can you do that? And then he boasts about his title, and he goes, of course I can.
We finally got confirmation of what he does.
Not even really.
He was what, a senior level electrical technician or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it was, assistant supervisor, whatever of blah 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 blah.
Something.
So anyway, they take off and they start being blasted at too. KB is unattested in in the ship though, which I find interesting. So they go in.
What do you mean unattested?
Nobody like shoots her down or anything like that while she's in the ship, unable to take off.
Oh, I kind of think that they just didn't think it was a factor because she was locked in.
But anyway,
or they just didn't notice her.
I know, but with the power being on, it just was weird. Anyway, it's a minor thing. So that being said, so they get to the tower after almost blowing up, after the pirates almost blow up the tower, and Jack was not happy about that. And so Wim comes up and is like, hey, I've already called the X-Wings. And he's like, really? You did? Isn't that a tale? And he starts going on about how he did it and everything else. And Jack's like, you realize that's a big tale. Like, I don't believe you at all. And then that's when Wim's dad sneaks around to try to turn on the power. And then Fern's mother has the worst poker face ever, because Fern then is talking about how he took the gem of the ancestors and was able to he got it a while ago, and Fern's mother's just like
what?
and then you hear the power go on, and that's when he's like, that's it, everyone, I want to see everyone's faces immediately. And it was by far, in my opinion, the best scene, because Jack does not want to kill kids. He has no problem killing the adults, in my opinion.
No, he really doesn't want to kill them. He just wants the gold and get out of there, and to be in charge of Atten because he wants all the gold.
Well,
but
he wants them to continue their great work, as they call it.
He wants slaves now.
No, they're going to be doing the great work.
He says slaves.
Great work. We're rebranding Atten. It is now great work.
Actually, now thinking about it, I'm surprised they used the word slaves in the show, because Disney kind of went on a kick of not to use the word slave, because they renamed Boba Fett's ship because they didn't want to use the word slave. So I'm actually kind of surprised that they actually said slave in the show.
Well, I think it fits because of exactly what he was planning on having them do.
I understand that, but with I guess trying to not PG, but yes, PG, but Disney trying to be more conscious or politically correct, yeah. I'm just a little surprised.
I think for this one it didn't matter because it was the right context.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like they weren't just throwing that word around just to throw the word around.
No, I understand that.
It was used for a very specific purpose, and it was meant for that purpose. You know what I mean? Like there was no like disillusion behind it whatsoever. But I do get your point.
Yeah, I mean, even still, like Boba Fett's ship is called Slave One. Like, what's the big deal that you have to rename it?
I think the idea is it's the name of a ship. It's not like the act. I know it's stupid. I know. I'm just saying, like, it's just the little things. But anyway, yeah. So then Neil using the proton blaster or whatever it's called, the cannon, was incredible.
Oh yeah.
However, it getting blown up really quick was kind of sad.
No, yeah, just took a couple shots and it's like, okay.
But it did a lot of damage to the ship. Can we talk about that?
It did. It did.
So it was enough for KB to get out of the barrier. She called for help, and as she was getting called for help, we also got to see 33.
Yep, she fixed up 33 real fast.
Well, she made him operational.
She reconnected his head.
No, she was holding his head.
No. Okay, she didn't reconnect it, put it on his head, but she reconnected the wires.
Understood. Sorry. You're right. I'm just stating, like, they are not connected. She was holding it. Hold my head steady, girl. That was a big line. Like, I'm not letting that slide. She gets then after she calls for help, she gets shot down and apparently crashes into Ad-Atten.
Mhm.
Everyone gets sad and everything else. Then it's the big fight scene, and fight is a very strong word that I don't like using, especially for this scene, because they're all trying to shut off the barrier,
Yep.
and it does
I
not.
mean, Jod is just like trying to restrain them with the force.
Yeah, it's really not a fight like in the typical sense. But then they shut down the barrier. It was Wim's father and Fern's mother both together shut it down,
Mhm.
and let's just say the planet got real bright.
Oh yeah.
Like real bright, and I was just so impressed with how well they made it look like they were no longer in the dark. They were out in the light.
Mhm.
And like the entire planet was bright. And it was just like so great. And then the X-Wings come in. They
I
got
mean,
all the
that was absolutely great seeing the X-wings come in and actually see them like do work. Like
Yep.
they really portrayed the power of like having the New Republic having some kind of power instead of most times we see them in in other forms of media that they don't have much strength. So that was actually really nice to see.
No, definitely. They take out the big ship. It looks like the pirates attempt to escape. I don't know if they actually do.
I
A
think they
lot.
all got shot down.
Well, they had the little ships. You know what I'm saying? Like it was unclear. Like if you understand what
I'm
I'm saying.
going out on a whim and saying that I think they were all shot down. But
Fair,
with
but
how
you
they
get my
was,
point I'm making. Like
I
it
understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that
because we had the ones
I
that escaped from the big ship that were definitely taken out. But I'm talking
yeah
about the ones on planet that were taking off.
yeah.
But they couldn't go into space in their ships anyway, so it's not like they could go far. Um, but yeah, and then they take down. You know which ones I'm talking about?
No, I know what you're talking about, but you said they couldn't go into space anyways. The
No,
barrier is
with
destroyed.
those. Well, no. They couldn't go into space in those ships.
Oh, the
In
ships
those.
weren't space. Okay.
That's what I meant by that. So it's not like they could have like escaped, but they could have escaped the area.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, that's what I meant. So anyway, the illusion is that the X-wings, the New
Finished
Republic,
them off.
finished all of them off. Jack stays in the supervisor's tower. We don't know what happens to him. They all run down to check to see KB. They see all the gold fall out, and then she falls out, and then they run over, and she's awake, and then we see 33 holding his head coming down, and the parents are like, "Hurry up, run!" And then they get out of there before the ship collapses on them, and then the episode ends with Wim looking up and Fern going, "Well, I guess you don't have to worry about the entrance exam, no."
Oh, the exam. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't remember.
and he just smiles, and that's how the series ends. Not wrong.
Yep. Yep.
It was so good to lead up that they gave us like it didn't give me like the greatest finish in the sense of like I'll say it this
Yeah.
way, it was more the fact of like there were still too many questions unanswered, not
Yep.
major ones. They could have easily been cleared
They
up like we talked
they
about in like a couple of minutes.
they left it open ended. Um,
So
and
did you
I
hear
mean, it leaves a hint of like it could.
so
Huh?
I was gonna say, did you hear what the creators of the show said? They had stated
No.
that they had stated that the way they left this season to be, it could be its official end, or they could add more to it. But they wanted to make sure that either way, it felt like an end to a story. Um, and in my mind, I was like, it did, but like you left some things. I
Yeah.
don't know. In my opinion, questions. So I need a season two.
No, I mean, I obviously like you said, they left it open so we could get a season two. It doesn't necessarily need a season two.
No, you're absolutely right.
But
I felt like it needed something to give us an idea of like what was going on for like
yeah,
the world purpose. I don't
no,
think
I agree with
you're
you in that
absolutely right.
terms.
It doesn't need a full season for sure. It doesn't. It needed like you said, 5-10 minutes at the most.
Yeah. I liked seeing like some of the characters and like Wim. I saw something online where it made me laugh because it's like Wim had some real character growth with how he had with the lightsaber, because he had come in contact with the lightsaber 3 times. The first time he just picked it up. The second time he tried to activate it and he messed it up, and then the third time he activated it the correct way. So it's like, oh, real character growth. But also, like at the end, when despite everything that Jod had done to him in his home, Wim still wanted to see the good in Jod. And when they were escaping, he called out to Jod to get him to come with them to escape. But Jod didn't want to, and that just shows like how Wim just tries to see the good in people.
Yes.
Um,
Which is
Also,
good to
people were
stick with.
thinking like Jod is proud of the kids because of like when they looked away, and Jod was just standing there. He was just looking at him with a smile. So people are thinking that he might actually be, impressed by what the kids were able to accomplish for them
I
being kids.
to be fair, I think that was the case throughout the whole show a little bit. He still had his means of what he wanted to do, but like the
Mm,
fact that he was stopped by kids. Like, granted, it wasn't the kids by themselves, obviously, because the X-wings came in. But like in
yeah,
his mind, it was because of these kids the X-wings were even allowed to make it here, because everything should have
one
worked
hundred
out
percent.
perfectly. So like in his mind, like the kids were the ones that took him out, and to him that he was impressed by, and I like that. I like that
Yep,
because it shows him because he is a Jedi to a certain degree, in the sense of like he's got a little bit of morals, not a lot, not as much as he should, but he's got some morals, and I like that. He's a pirate with a code.
well, he was raised as a Jedi. They confirmed
Raised
that.
is a strong word because we don't
Um,
know how long it was for, but there was an interaction with a Jedi.
he
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 had
had a
some.
master.
Yep.
Um,
Um.
but
Yes. So
also, I don't know if you heard this, but there was an extra scene where we were supposed to get a little bit more of Jod's past, and there was another Jedi who was Arabian, I believe. The actress was Arabian, and the rumor was that they were gonna do a flashback scene with her, and she was going to be Jod's master during when he was explaining his
yeah.
past, but that scene ended up getting cut. Um, so like someone had filmed the scenes and whatever. She had come out and said like, despite it not making it into the movie, like I'm so proud of what I was able to do and being a part of this universe.
Which is good.
So I just thought that was interesting.
No, that is.
I don't mind not getting more of Jod's past. I'm fine with him being kind of like an open-ended character where like
It
you don't
also
really
didn't
know.
ruin anything. Like we got enough of
Yeah,
him that we didn't need it.
yeah.
Don't get
Like
me
at the
wrong.
end of the
I
day, like
wouldn't say
he,
no to it. I wouldn't say no to it. But the idea is, I wouldn't go like crazy. Like I don't need it.
yeah. That's my point. Is like it wasn't like I was okay with how we got him because it added more mystery to his character.
Yeah.
Like if they had introduced his background, it's more of like sympathetic. One of those things where it's like we're giving sympathy to the villains when you don't really need it. You know.
All right. Let's move on to your character spotlight.
Okay. So I have a question for you. I'm going to leave my character spotlight up to you. Would you like me to talk about Eclipso or would you like me to talk about Lena Luthor?
Do Eclipso because you could do Lana Luthor for the next one because I feel like she's going to play a major role that you could add her in later.
That's fine. Didn't you just yell at me earlier in the episode about how I messed up a character's name, even though you had just repeated the character's name? And I just said Lena Luthor, and you proceeded to go Lana Luthor. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Okay. So, Eclipso was introduced back during the House of Secrets comic line back in August 1963. We had quite a few different renditions of Eclipso, so I'm going to go through a little bit, give a little bit of background on each of them. So, originally, Eclipso was written as a generic villain who would routinely enact an elaborate plot to fulfill his hedonistic motives. However, the 1992 Darkness Within modified the character to be an evil megalomaniac entity. Eclipso's character laments the power he once had as a spirit of divine vengeance. He would secretly seek to possess incredible power, like Superman and Captain Marvel, to achieve his ends. Eclipso kind of comes in and like eclipse as we saw with the jewel in Harley Quinn, he possesses the person, so his human form can be anybody. So first person I'm going to talk about is Bruce Gordon. Eclipso's early comics debut is tied to his first modern host, Bruce Gordon. This character was named after Bruce Wayne and Commissioner Gordon, and it was meant as a joke. He was a scientist specializing in solar energy, and while in the jungle to view a solar eclipse, Gordon is attacked by a tribal sorcerer, Mofir, who wounds him with a black diamond and causes him to transform into Eclipso during eclipses. During this period, Eclipso was portrayed as a conventional villain possessing super strength, partial invulnerability, and optic blasts. Eclipso's transformations are later altered so that any type of natural eclipse would split Eclipso and Gordon, while an artificial eclipse, an object blocking out a light source, would transform Gordon into Eclipse. But at the same time, any bright flash of light would banish Eclipso from Gordon's body. In the early 1990s, DC retconned Eclipso in a company-wide crossover built around the Missionaries. Eclipso was revealed not simply to be Bruce Gordon's dark half, but a vengeful demon who was imprisoned inside a black diamond called the Heart of Darkness. The heart is later shattered into 1,000 pieces, which enabled Eclipso to possess others when they touched them. And over the next 100 years, Eclipso gathers the diamond shards with the intention of destroying them all, freeing his true power. When Largond discovers Eclipso's palace on the moon, Eclipso is inspired to possess all of Earth's heroes and use them to conquer Earth and obtain revenge against God for his imprisonment. Eventually, he's defeated by Will Payton, and his base on the moon is destroyed. In the Eclipso series, following the crossover event, Eclipso appeared in a solo series where he conquered South American country Parador by possessing one person at a time. The United States sent an investigation team consisting of Cave Carson, Bruce Gordon, and Gordon's fiancée, Mona Bennett. Carson's legs were broken, and he was left at the border. Gordon and Bennett were taken on a tour and shown various atrocities, such as piles of children's corpses. They escaped with the assistance of Creeper and formed a group of heroes dubbed the Shadow Fighters. This group was led by Amanda Waller, who obviously we know was once in charge of the Suicide Squad. Eclipso would defeat them, killing Wildcat number 2, the second Doctor Midnight, the Creeper Commander Steel, and Manhunter 4. Peacemaker was also involved, but he was killed in a helicopter crash that Eclipso destroyed with a tank. So apparently these tanks, though, were only used to hunt down the shadow fighters, which is interesting. Other survivors of the shadow fighters who were not involved in the direct attack of Eclipso regrouped, and eventually Eclipso ended up attacking them with a missile, which they ended up evading due to Nightshade's teleportation ability. And during the escape, Mona's father was snatched from their vehicle, but he later returned alive. And the survivors eventually arrived in the UN building, just in time to foil another evil plot of Eclipso. Bruce Gordon and Mona Bennett led Earth's superheroes in attack on Parador, with the attempt to destroy Eclipso once and for all. But Eclipso revealed that he dares not kill Gordon and Bennett because their unborn child will time travel to the past as an adult and free Eclipso from the diamond. Eventually, he was finally defeated by the Phantom Stranger, who gathered all 1,000 pieces of the shards and fused them together into the Heart of Darkness, which, as I believe I had stated earlier, when he fused them together, he was able to be recaptured into the crystal, or diamond, whatever you want to call it.
The gem. However you want to...
The gem. Thank you. That's a better description. In the New 52... much later, another reboot, Eclipso is a god of vengeance and originates from Gemworld. Later, the Black Diamond is delivered to disgraced scientist Gordon Jacobs, and Eclipso possesses Jacobs and claims that he cannot leave him without killing him. And then later in the DC Rebirth series, the Maxwell Lord from the Suicide Squad steal the Heart of Darkness, allowing Eclipso to expand his powers worldwide. Eclipso possesses Lord before Killer Frost uses her powers to create a prison, trapping him in the Black Diamond. He's possessed other characters like Wildcat, and eventually the Legionnaires, the Justice Society, captures him before the Legionnaires finally imprison him in the Black Diamond once and for all. That is the most recent iteration of him, aside for Harley Quinn. But he has a little bit of powers. So Eclipso is a formidable and powerful spiritual entity representing the primordial embodiment of God's wrath. Possessing extraordinary abilities, Eclipso's powers are diverse and impressive. Fueled by rage, the character exhibits attributes such as invulnerability and immortality. Eclipso's vast magical powers enable the performance of godlike feats. These include manipulating the weather and seas, causing natural disasters like floods and thunderstorms. The character can also alter their size, growing to giant proportions, and has the ability to emit deadly rays of dark light from his left eye and a powerful burst of paralyzing black light from his right eye by looking through a shard of the Heart of the Darkness gem. Furthermore, Eclipso has demonstrated the ability to absorb the powers of the Spectre and project potent energy from their hands, capable of stunning or even killing adversaries. Having once served God, Eclipso possesses the ability to communicate in the angelic language, which encompasses elements of harmony, discordance, vibration, and telepathy. This linguistic skill enhances Eclipso's command over their powers and facilitates communication over divine level. The character carries with him a seemingly unbreakable mystical sword and is considered a swordsman. Originally, Eclipso's abilities and possession were derived from contact with the Heart of Darkness. In later iterations, Eclipso's possession capabilities have become even more potent. After overtaking Maxwell Lord, his ability to possess and corrupt individuals were significantly amplified and unlike before, Eclipso no longer required physical contact with the gem to influence others. So, when manifested into his true form, the character often wears the Heart of Darkness on his chest and channels its power. On its own, Eclipso possesses the ability to overshadow individuals who come into contact with the cursed Heart of Darkness gem. Once overshadowed, Eclipso controls the host's powers, manipulates their behaviors, and alters their memory to serve his own purposes. Additionally, he can augment his host's existing abilities or grant them new powers, thereby strengthening them. And his weakness is, despite Eclipso's considerable power, he remains bound to the divine laws set by the presence, and transgressing these boundaries can result in severe punishment from the presence. Additionally, Eclipso has a vulnerability in the form of Heart of Darkness, which can be used to seal him away. Certain adept practitioners of magic, such as Dr. Fate and Sebastian Faust, have demonstrated the ability to hinder and exercise Eclipso's possessions through the use of specific magical spells and abilities. That is really it. He actually appeared in the Justice League animated show back in 2004.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't remember that.
I mean, to be fair, if I saw him, maybe, but like the name doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's it.
next-
I figured that would be a good little touch up for you because I figured you didn't know much about that character.
I didn't actually. So next week we're going to be talking about Luke Cage season 1. We're going to talk about the latest episode of Harley Quinn, and that is it. And obviously,
And
any
it'll be
trailers
your
that pop
character
up,
spotlight.
it'll be my character spotlight, and then any trailers that pop up. But we don't. The reason why I say it that way is because it's like we don't know if trailers are going to show up or not. So it's like we never know. So right now it's just going to be Luke Cage season 1, Harley Quinn episode 2, and then my character spotlight. So for now, if you made it this far into the episode, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Eel Podcast. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.